Hello, and welcome to your next video in the flight simulation course for Warren County Community College. Today we will be using the drone Quadcopter X. So make sure you go into Aircraft, select Aircraft, and you choose just Quadcopter X. Hit OK. Your quadcopter will be there. Now the environment, or the airport, we'll be going to is the one called Junkyard. So it's right below Joe's Garage. It's called Junkyard. So you're going to select the Junkyard. Now, remember, we need a couple things to help us here. So we're going to go into our gadgets, and we're going to pull up our nav guides, if you don't already have it, our radio, otherwise known as a picture of the remote control, and our viewport. I'm going to shrink this viewport down a little bit. I don't need it to be quite that big for this particular exercise. But I don't want to have two views of visual line of sight views, so I want to make sure this yellow highlight is on, like we've done so many times before. Go to View, go to Camera Type, and then Live First Person View. So now I have my live first person view. This week, I like to call Fast and the Furious, although I'm not sure how fast the Quadcopter X goes compared to some of the other drones you'll be working with. But what you're going to do this week is really simple. You're going to explore the junkyard. You're going to look for flights that you can take, and you're going to try to fly using both your visual line of sight and your first person view as fast as you possibly can for 2 minutes. Now, this being said, I know that you may experience a crash from time to time, and that's okay. Don't restart the video. What I'm looking for here is to see your level of maneuverability. So your instructors will be going over how well do you maneuver, how well do you yaw, how well can you move your quadcopter, and what impact can you have. So that's what we're going to try to do. Now remember, what do we always do when we start? We're going to go through our pre-flight checklist. You're going to read off each element on the checklist that's been provided to you for the course. In the front of the video, this doesn't count for your 2 minutes, so your video will be a little bit longer than 2 minutes. Then you're going to do your control check. You're going to lift up, set the hover, you're going to roll, pitch, and you're going to yaw to the right and to the left. Once you've done that, you're going to come back down. Get your drone ready over your helipad, and then you will begin your 2 minutes flight. So if you use your first person view, you should be able to find plenty of obstacles here that you can kind of fly around and get a sense of. So we can, let's start by looking over here. We'll try to see if we can go through this tube. That would be one that would be an interesting one. Be a little bit hard. For your 2 minutes. Wow, there we go. Now let's go over here. We got some construction sites. Dip below this girder. We don't want to hit that. Have some material over here that we can fly through. Fly down these train tracks. You don't have to do this exact maneuver. You can fly somewhere that's of interest to you. Just make sure you're trying not to crash. Maybe here you make it a little more interesting. You do a quick turn. Try to go through the hangar. Come around. And again. Can you do something like maneuvering around these girders here through this area without crashing? There we go. Maybe I come by this cactus. Stay a little bit to the right of the cactus. Cut that. Go over through this next. Maintaining both my first person view and my visual line of sight, which I've lost behind a big rock. Flying through. So I could start to really look around the junkyard, look for obstacles that might be very difficult, especially towards the end, and there I crash. And that's how your video should end too. After you've done 2 minutes of successful flights, around, through things. Try to take an evasive but very difficult maneuver and see if you make it through, and continue until at such point you do crash. If you crash before 2 minutes is up, just hit the restart button and start over. You don't have to restart the video or the exercise for your instructor. Just again, try to have a good time, enjoy yourself, see how your maneuverability will work, see how well you do. This again will help you in some later exercises. So there is a little bit of a method to the madness. I hope you enjoy this week's flying. Feel free to experience and try other airports, other environments out. Feel free to turn your wind speed up while you're doing this. Turn it down. Change your sunlight. You can see in this whole environment area, you can turn thermals. You can go to the default. You can wind, direction, and speed, turbulence. What kind of thermals do you want? Do you want sun, inclined sun, azimuth sun? How do you want it? Enjoy yourself, and we'll see you in the next video.